Welcome to my next Walking Dead Dead City Season 2 episode review video, as I was able to watch the episode early on the YouTube AMC Plus channel. Before I get to all that, though, pretty important, if you aren't caught up to the point where I am and rewatching or watching The Walking Dead Dead City, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention as well as put in the description. If that's the case, you find that you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this detailed review any further to avoid any potential spoilers. If you're new to this channel and finding it for the first time, welcome to the channel where I talk about The Walking Dead when The Walking Dead is on. If you like talking about The Walking Dead, you should consider subscribing to the channel. The Walking Dead is my favorite television show of all time. Obviously, there's a lot of spin-offs with The Walking Dead, and I covered every single episode of the main Walking Dead show on this channel. At the end of this video, with about 20 seconds left to go, I'll put my review for the Walking Dead series finale episode, but it's not really the series finale, titled Rest in Peace, with about 20 seconds left, in case you want to check that out and familiarize yourself with my Walking Dead fandom. But I also covered all the episodes of The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon, or The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon, The Book of Carol. Obviously, this show right here, The Walking Dead Dead City. I also watched all of Fear the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead World Beyond. Fear the Walking Dead is okay at times. There's only a couple really good seasons, and the rest are mediocre or bad. And The Walking Dead World Beyond, I went into it thinking I would hate it because I had to watch it in preparation for the Ones Who Live. And other than the first couple episodes, I actually really liked The Walking Dead World Beyond. Now, I've never covered that or Fear the Walking Dead on this channel, but certainly I guess at some point maybe I could, since I haven't yet. But again, I love talking about The Walking Dead. Maybe it's not as popular as it used to be, but if you're a fan of The Walking Dead and want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please make sure that you Hulk smash the like button. It does help out the channel. Share this video with a friend. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode of The Walking Dead Dead City. What would you rate the episode, and who, if you had to choose, would be the character of the episode? Now, let's kind of hold off on giving Negan and the Maggie the character of the episode, unless, of course, it's gotta be them. If there's another character that does a lot, that's who I try to give it to. And of course, last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, help me get over 100,000 subscribers. Yes, I know I set my goals high. Join the team, share your damn support, and be a part of something special, and you never know what you're going to see on JDev TV. This will be The Walking Dead Dead City Season 2, Episode 4. The title of this episode is called Feisty Friendly, and this will be my review reaction recap after just finishing watching the episode. We start with Bruegel petting a rat, talking about how magical it would be to see the city all lit up again, and then he feeds this rat to somebody. We have the Croat talking to Negan about Bruegel coming to them. The Dama is also in the car in the back seat, and she says we need Bruegel and his men. Benjamin Pierce, after they park, is let out of the trunk, so they're transporting him in the trunk. I guess he's not important enough to get a seat next to the Dama. And the Dama mentions to Negan his family must be passing the Appalachians by now. She'll pray for them. So she's still holding Annie and Joshua over Negan's head, like, you mess up, you do something we don't like, I'll kill them, essentially. And then Negan, the Dama, and the Croat arrive at Bruegel's museum, where he's essentially collected a bunch of art and put it in his museum to have like the ultimate museum in the city. Maggie tells Pearlie Armstrong that Negan killed Herschel's father, and then she wonders how Pearlie is going to explain the information to Narvaez if she happens to see Negan somehow, him being a Negan Slayer, essentially, or him claiming to be a Negan Slayer and all. And Pearlie says he'll figure it out if that time comes up. And then Herschel mentions to Maggie and Pearlie that Ginny had a gun in her bag. Negan notices that Bruegel has many mirrors at his museum. Bruegel asks who Benjamin Pierce is, and the Dama explains that he's a historian. Maggie asks Ginny to stay behind to keep an eye on things at the place that they arrived at the last episode that's surrounded by walkers. Bruegel wants to know what Negan thinks of the art, and Negan says he's more of a movie poster kind of guy. Me too, hence my backdrop with my TV show posters and my movie posters here. And then the Croat mentions to Bruegel that his champion has won 26 fights in a row, and he doesn't think that his champion is fighting fair. He thinks he's injected his champion with something. Maggie tells Pearlie Armstrong that she misses jelly donuts and maybe a Kit Kat bar the most after Pearlie mentions he misses breakfast sandwiches the most before things turn to shit, which we've been in this zombie apocalypse now for forever, like 15, 20 years or something like that at this point. Bruegel says that the Croat's accent is so exotic, essentially making fun of the way that he speaks. Nigan! He doesn't say that specifically, but Benjamin Pierce actually remembers who the Dama is. The Dama used to run the city. She was a theater critic, and at one point she actually bit another writer before. And then the Dama mentions that she knew Herschel was involved the second he sent the smoke signal. Pearlie says having a kid is the scariest thing of all, especially when it's just you to Maggie, and mentions all he could think about is keeping his girls safe. And Maggie says that she knows she seems hard, but deep down, she's terrified all the time. Ginny goes to grab her bag, but Narvaez won't let her grab it, and then she asks Ginny why she's here, and Ginny says she's here to kill the man that killed her father. And then Narvaez even asks if that man's name is Negan. Does Narvaez actually know that Negan is still alive, or is it just speculation at this point? We shall see. Bruegel's champion wins again, and Bruegel talks about having a bodyguard named Tony back in the day, and then Bruegel talks about building a second methane museum. The Croat says absolutely not. The Croat wonders if he's injected his champion with something again. I think maybe I jumped ahead a little bit there. Bruegel says it's getting late. You should get your coats. And Maggie and Pearlie spot Negan. He's grabbing a walker out of the vehicle to fight Bruegel's champion. So Negan made a deal with Bruegel. Like, hey, if I can find somebody to beat your champion, you join us and all that stuff. And then we have Bruegel getting notified that one of his paintings is on fire. And of course, he freaks out. And then everybody's kind of in this room, the main people watching this, them put out the fire of this painting. And then Negan hears the savior whistling, and it gets his attention. So Negan goes to investigate this whistling and tells the Dama he's going to the little boy's room as Rat kind of goes through him a bit. I forgot to mention that Bruegel served them rat with a carrot. A very elegant looking rat with carrot. A very nice meal, but it's still a rat. And then we have Negan and Maggie seeing each other. Pearlie from above tells Negan they need to secure the methane. Maggie just wants a location from Negan and he can't tell her. And then Negan tells Maggie the Dama got to Herschel somehow. He's like, the Dama got to him. You can't trust him. And then we have Maggie watching the fight between Negan's trucker walker that he pours, I believe, gasoline over, and Bruegel's champion. And then I believe during this I know for sure that Maggie spotted the Dama, and she recognizes her from Herschel's drawing, but I believe the Dama saw her as well. I'm not 100% sure that's the case, though, because Maggie kept hiding behind pillars. And then despite putting up a fight, Negan's walker loses against Bruegel's champion. But there's one point where Negan looks into the eyes of Bruegel's champion. And Bruegel's champion is not a walker. It's an actual human being. And then Negan whispers something to Bruegel at the end. And he says he'll join the alliance. No strings attached. Maggie asks Herschel what took him so long. And Herschel says it just took a long time for him to get out because he showed up late. The Dama tells Negan she doesn't know how he pulled it off, but he always does. His family will be proud and invites him to join her in the back seat of the car. The Croat doesn't seem too thrilled about that. And then Bruegel's champion is actually his bodyguard, Tony. He tells Tony he's giving him a purpose. Bruegel says that now our secret's out, you're no longer used to me. And then Bruegel, with a blade from his watch, kills Tony and says he's not out of moves just yet. And that's what ends this episode. As Bruegel looks over looks outside the window of what's in Manhattan. And that's what ends this episode of The Walking Dead, Dead City. So I have mixed emotions about this episode. I feel like it was a bit slow and there were a couple good parts. I'm going to score the episode a 7.5 out of 10. And then hands down, my character of the episode is Bruegel, although I find him a bit annoying and boring, but I mean, I'm sure they're setting things up for something. It is an 8-episode season, and we're only on episode 4. So if we get some really crazy episodes the next 3 episodes, or 2 out of 3, well, we're on episode 4, so it'll be 4 episodes left. So if we get a couple crazy episodes in the next 4, this will all be, I'll be satisfied. But so far, I'm kind of mixed on this season thus far, but 7.5 out of 10. So you've heard everything that I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of The Walking Dead, Dead City, or any iteration of The Walking Dead and want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please make sure that you Hulk smash the like button, share this video with a friend, put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode of The Walking Dead, Dead City. What would you rate the episode, and who, if you had to choose, aside from Negan and Maggie, would be your character of the episode? But if you want to give us a Negan and Maggie, I completely understand. But I think this was hands down a Bruegel episode. If you're new to the channel and want to hear my Walking Dead fandom, I'll put my Walking Dead series finale review, rest in peace, right there. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, help me get over 100K subscribers. Yes, I know I set my goals pretty high. Join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And you never know what you're going to see on JDev TV.